Yet. We're going back to destroy those binoculars.
Going back?
The production of Land of the Giants faced numerous challenges that led to a surprising number of injuries among its cast. Filming took place on elaborate sets designed to create the illusion of a world where everything was oversized. This unique environment often resulted in accidents. For instance, the actors had to navigate large props and sets that were not always safe. The scale of the sets made simple movements hazardous, as actors frequently tripped or fell while performing their scenes. Additionally, the physical demands of the show required the cast to engage in stunts that were risky. Many of these stunts were performed without the benefit of modern safety measures, leading to injuries that ranged from minor bruises to more serious incidents. The fast-paced filming schedule left little time for recovery, which compounded the problem. Moreover, the show's special effects often involved complex machinery and pyrotechnics, which added another layer of risk. The combination of oversized sets, demanding stunts, and the pressure to meet tight deadlines created an environment where injuries were almost inevitable.
Must be behind that water tray.
Well, we can't get in there.
But they can't get out.
The show features a crew and passengers of a suborbital spaceship who end up on a planet where everything is 12 times larger. This unique premise sets the stage for a variety of adventures as the characters navigate a world filled with giant plants, animals, and even humans. However, science fiction purists criticized the show for its unrealistic premise. They pointed out that the concept of a spaceship landing on a planet with such extreme size differences stretched the boundaries of believability. Critics felt that the scientific inaccuracies detracted from the storytelling and the overall experience of the show. In terms of production, the show used props from other Irwin Allen shows, and even Batman. This recycling of props was a common practice in television at the time, allowing for cost savings while still creating a visually engaging environment. The use of familiar items from other series added a layer of nostalgia for viewers who recognized them, even if it sometimes led to a sense of inconsistency in the world building. The combination of imaginative storytelling and the challenges of production created a unique viewing experience that sparked both fascination and debate among audiences.
And a 60-cycle hum.
Yeah. But where's it coming from?
The sound it.
During the second season of Land of the Giants, Heather Young, who portrayed Betty Hamilton, faced the challenge of being pregnant. This situation had a significant impact on her filming schedule, as adjustments were necessary to accommodate her condition. The production team had to be creative in how they filmed her scenes, ensuring that her health and well-being were prioritized while still delivering the show's engaging storylines. In addition to the behind-the-scenes dynamics, the show featured the spaceship Spindrift, which was a central element of the series. The design of Spindrift included chairs that were reminiscent of those seen in the classic film Planet of the Apes. This design choice contributed to the unique aesthetic of the show, blending science fiction elements with a sense of familiarity for viewers. The combination of Heather Young's personal journey and the iconic spaceship design added depth to the series, making it a memorable part of television history.
I sure hope so. He's the one with the ship.
Take it from an old expert. We never lay eyes on that ship again.
The logos and crew patches on the Spindrift had interesting origins that link back to earlier productions by 20th Century Fox. These elements were not just random designs, they carried a sense of history and continuity from previous shows. The creative team behind Land of the Giants wanted to establish a visual identity that resonated with audiences familiar with the studio's past work. This connection helped to create a sense of familiarity and nostalgia, which was important for engaging viewers. Irwin Allen, the show's producer, played a crucial role in presenting the series to network executives. He crafted a 6-minute film that showcased the concept of Land of the Giants. In this film, there were notable differences in character names and roles compared to what would eventually be seen in the series. This early presentation was vital in selling the idea to the network, as it highlighted the unique premise of the show, while also demonstrating Allen's vision for the characters and their adventures. The film served as a key tool in garnering interest and support for the series, setting the stage for its eventual production and airing.
The dark room and the stuff that she'll need.
As I said before, this is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
We've had enough.
The first 12 episodes of Land of the Giants were filmed in 1967 to ensure a timely release in 1968. This early production effort was crucial for meeting the planned start date, allowing the series to capture the audience's attention right from the beginning. Each episode had a budget of $250,000, which was considered quite high for television at that time. This significant investment reflected the show's ambition and the desire to create a visually impressive and engaging experience for viewers. The production team aimed to deliver quality content that would stand out in the competitive landscape of television programming. Interestingly, the ship that the characters traveled in was originally intended to be named Shamrock instead of Spindrift. This name change was part of the creative process as the team worked to develop the show's identity and narrative. The decision to rename the ship likely contributed to the overall branding of the series, helping to establish its unique place in the science fiction genre. The combination of high production values and thoughtful creative choices played a key role in shaping Land of the Giants into a memorable series that captured the imagination of its audience. The crash date of June 12, 1983, holds special significance as it is the birthday of Irwin Allen, the creator of the series Land of the Giants. This connection adds a personal touch to the narrative of the show, intertwining the life of its creator with the fictional events that unfold. The theme music for the series was composed by the renowned John Williams, who also scored the pilot episode. His work contributed to the show's atmosphere, enhancing the sense of adventure and wonder that characterized the series. In Land of the Giants, the giant planet depicted shares many similarities with Earth, creating a familiar yet extraordinary setting for the characters. For instance, the inhabitants of this giant world drive Chryslers, a brand that resonates with viewers from the 1960s and 1970s. Additionally, the presence of yellow pages suggests a society that mirrors our own in terms of commerce and communication. These elements help ground the fantastical aspects of the show, making it relatable to the audience while still exploring the themes of survival and adaptation in an unfamiliar environment. The combination of Irwin Allen's birthday, John Williams' iconic music, and the Earth-like qualities of the giant planet all contribute to the unique charm of Land of the Giants, making it a memorable part of television history.
Mineral drain. It's a horizontal shaft that connects with this vertical one.
But you said it cost...
Murray Leinster expanded the world of Land of the Giants through 3 tie-in books that delved deeper into the show's narrative. These books provided fans with additional context and adventures that were not fully explored in the television series. While the show primarily focused on science fiction and adventure, it had very little romance. The notable exception occurred in Season 1, Episode 12, where a brief romantic moment added a touch of emotional depth to the storyline. This scene stood out in a series that was otherwise dominated by action and survival themes. In a fascinating twist of fate, the actors who portrayed Mark and Valerie, Don Matheson and Deanna Lund, found love off-screen as well. Their marriage after the show highlighted the strong bond they developed while working together. This connection between the characters and the actors added a layer of intrigue to the series, making it memorable for fans. The combination of Leinster's literary contributions and the real-life romance between the stars enriched the legacy of Land of the Giants. Injuries were a common occurrence on the set of Land of the Giants due to the demanding stunts and the use of large props. The actors often faced physical challenges that came with portraying characters in a world where they were tiny compared to their surroundings. This created a unique set of risks, as the scale of the props and the complexity of the action sequences required a high level of physicality. The cast had to navigate these challenges while ensuring their performances remained engaging and believable. The characters in the series had clear objectives centered around survival and the hope of repairing their spaceship to return to Earth. Each episode presented new obstacles that tested their resourcefulness and determination. They faced threats from the giant inhabitants of the planet, which added to the tension and urgency of their quest. Despite their efforts and the various adventures they encountered, the show ultimately did not provide a proper conclusion regarding the humans' return to Earth. Viewers were left without resolution, wondering if the characters would ever escape their predicament. This open-ended finale left a lasting impression, as fans speculated about the fate of the characters long after the series ended.
Fitzhugh's hitch is enough for another 2 hours.
You forget Skipper. It's close to supper time.
The show has found a new audience through syndication on MeTV, allowing fans both old and new to enjoy its unique blend of science fiction and adventure. This platform has helped keep the spirit of the series alive, introducing it to younger viewers who may not have experienced it during its original run. The series, which aired in the late 1960s, featured a group of people who found themselves in a world where everything was giant-size, creating a fascinating premise that captivated audiences. The special effects used in Land of the Giants were considered advanced for their time, showcasing the creativity and innovation of the era. Techniques such as forced perspective and miniatures were employed to create the illusion of a small cast interacting with a giant world. However, as time has passed, these effects have become somewhat outdated. Modern viewers may find the visual effects less convincing compared to today's standards, which often rely on computer-generated imagery. Despite this, the charm of the series remains, and its imaginative storytelling continues to resonate with fans. The combination of nostalgia and the show's unique concept keeps it relevant in the landscape of classic television.
Dan, this is Steve. You read me?
Land of the Giants, the 1968 television series, has garnered a mix of nostalgia and critique from viewers over the years. The show, which follows a group of people who find themselves shrunk and stranded in a world inhabited by giants, offers a unique blend of science fiction and adventure that has left a lasting impression on its audience. One of the most intriguing aspects of the series is its premise. Some viewers have speculated about the nature of the characters' predicament, suggesting that rather than traveling through time or space, they may have been shrunk and landed on a version of Earth that mirrors the late 1960s. This theory draws parallels to other science fiction narratives, such as Fantastic Voyage and Planet of the Apes, where familiar cultures and technologies are presented in a distorted scale. This imaginative backdrop allows for a rich exploration of themes related to survival and adaptation in an unfamiliar environment. For many fans, the emotional connection to the show is deeply rooted in childhood memories. One viewer fondly recalls watching Land of the Giants every Sunday morning, expressing a continued affection for the series even decades later. The cast, particularly Gary Conway as Captain Steve Burton, is remembered not only for their performances but also for their physicality, as they navigated the challenges of portraying characters in a world where they were significantly smaller than their surroundings. The chemistry among the cast members, along with memorable guest stars like Kevin Hagen as Inspector Kobik, contributed to the show's charm and appeal. However, there are also sentiments of longing for what could have been. Some fans express a desire for more seasons or a resolution to the character's journey, wishing they could have found their way back home. This yearning for closure highlights the emotional investment viewers had in the characters and their struggles. Yet, there is a strong sentiment against remaking the series, as many believe that the original cast brought a unique essence to their roles that could not be replicated by contemporary actors. This perspective underscores the importance of the original performances in shaping the show's identity and legacy. In summary, Land of the Giants remains a beloved series that evokes a sense of nostalgia and admiration among its fans. Its imaginative premise, engaging cast, and the emotional connections formed during its original run contribute to its enduring appeal. While some viewers wish for more content or a different ending, the consensus is that the original series holds a special place in the hearts of those who experienced it. The blend of adventure, science fiction, and character-driven storytelling continues to resonate, making it a noteworthy entry in the landscape of television history.
How much harder it's going to be as he gets older.
Like that.
As we close the chapter on the thrilling adventures in the Land of the Giants, a new journey awaits just beyond the horizon. What became of the brave cast who brought this captivating world to life? In this bonus segment, we will delve into the lives of the actors after the cameras stopped rolling, discover the unexpected paths they took, the challenges they faced, and the triumphs that followed their time in this iconic series. From the heights of Hollywood fame to quieter, more personal pursuits, each story reveals a unique glimpse into the lives of these talented individuals. Did they find success in other roles, or did they step away from the spotlight entirely? Join us as we uncover the fascinating tales of resilience, reinvention, and the lasting impact of their time in the Land of the Giants. Stay tuned as the adventure continues in ways you never expected.
And because I'm sick and tired of running and hiding and living like an insect in this giant gross...
Warren Stevens portrayed Captain Ashim in the 1968 TV series Land of the Giants. His character was a complex figure, often caught between the needs of his crew and the dangers of their environment. Stevens brought a sense of authority and depth to a shim, making him a memorable part of the series. After Land of the Giants, Stevens continued to work in television and film, appearing in various roles that showcased his versatility. However, his career was not without challenges. He faced personal hardships, including struggles with typecasting and the pressures of Hollywood. In the late 1970s, Stevens was involved in a scandal that shook the industry, as he was accused of financial misconduct related to a production deal. This incident tarnished his reputation and led to a decline in roles. Despite these setbacks, he remained resilient, taking on smaller projects and stage work. In his later years, Stevens became reclusive, distancing himself from the public eye. The last known information about him suggests he lived a quiet life, reflecting on his past while remaining largely out of the spotlight.
Help them. I bet it will be killed.
Well, we go and see if we can get a word from Inspector Kobik.
Broderick Crawford's portrayal of Professor Gorn in the 1968 TV series Land of the Giants showcased his ability to embody complex characters. Gorn, a brilliant yet troubled scientist, navigated the challenges of a world where size and power dynamics were turned upside down. Crawford's performance was marked by a deep intensity, reflecting the character's internal struggles and moral dilemmas. This role added a layer of depth to his already diverse career. Crawford's life outside of acting was tumultuous. He faced personal hardships, including battles with alcoholism that affected both his career and relationships. His off-screen life was marred by scandals, including a highly publicized arrest for drunk driving in the 1950s, which led to a brief decline in his popularity. Despite these challenges, he continued to work in film and television, earning acclaim for his roles in various productions. In his later years, Crawford's health declined, and he faced significant financial difficulties. He passed away in 1986, leaving behind a legacy of complex characters and a life filled with both triumphs and struggles. The last known information about him reflects a man who, despite his fame, grappled with the shadows of his personal demons.
We just passed through another to get out.
You mean we're actually back on Earth?
I doubt it.
John Carradine's portrayal of Igor Krull in the 1968 TV series Land of the Giants showcased his ability to embody complex, often sinister characters. Krull, a cunning and manipulative figure, added a layer of darkness to the show, reflecting Carradine's talent for playing morally ambiguous roles. His performance was marked by a haunting presence, drawing viewers into the character's twisted motivations and schemes. Carradine's career spanned several decades, with notable roles in classic films like The Grapes of Wrath and The Ten Commandments. However, his life was not without turmoil. He faced personal hardships, including struggles with alcoholism, which affected both his career and relationships. His tumultuous marriage to actress Sonia Sorel ended in scandal, marked by allegations of infidelity and financial disputes. Carradine also had a complicated relationship with his children, including actor David Carradine, which was often strained. In his later years, Carradine continued to work in film and television, but his health declined. He passed away in 1988, leaving behind a legacy of diverse roles and a life filled with both triumphs and tragedies. His final years were marked by a sense of isolation, reflecting the darker aspects of his storied career.
They took him inside. What are we gonna do now?
Go for help. Back to...
Michael Ansara's portrayal of Murtra in the 1968 TV series Land of the Giants showcased his ability to embody complex characters. Murtra, a cunning and ruthless antagonist, was a significant role that highlighted Ansara's talent for playing villains. His performance added depth to the series, making him a memorable figure in the show's landscape. Beyond Land of the Giants, Ansara's career spanned several decades, with notable roles in Broken Arrow and Star Trek. However, his life was marked by personal struggles. He faced the heartbreak of divorce from actress Barbara Eden, a relationship that ended in 1974 after a decade of marriage. The split was tumultuous, with public scrutiny adding to the pain. Ansara also battled depression, which he openly discussed later in life, revealing the toll that fame and personal loss took on him. In his later years, Ansara continued to work in television and voice acting, but he largely stepped back from the spotlight. He passed away in 2013, leaving behind a legacy of diverse roles and a life filled with both triumphs and challenges. His story serves as a reminder of the complexities behind the facade of fame.
I'm going to do things my way.
Deanna Lund portrayed Valerie Scott in the 1968 TV series Land of the Giants, a character marked by her intelligence and resourcefulness in a world where she and her companions faced overwhelming challenges. Lund's performance brought depth to Valerie, who often found herself navigating perilous situations while maintaining a sense of hope and determination. After the show ended, Lund's career took various turns, including guest appearances on popular series like The Mod Squad and The $6 Million Man. However, her personal life was fraught with difficulties. She faced a tumultuous marriage to actor and director John McGreevy, which ended in divorce. Lund also battled health issues, including a serious car accident that left her with lasting injuries. Despite these challenges, she remained resilient, continuing to work in theater and television. In her later years, Lund became involved in charity work, focusing on causes related to health and wellness. The last known information about her indicates that she has largely stepped back from the public eye, living a quieter life away from the spotlight.
I'm over here, Partek.
Glenn Corbett portrayed Major Kagan in the 1968 TV series Land of the Giants, a character marked by a blend of authority and complexity. Kagan was a military figure who often found himself at odds with the show's protagonists, embodying the tension between power and vulnerability. Corbett's performance brought depth to Kagan, making him a memorable antagonist in a world where survival was a constant struggle. After Land of the Giants, Corbett's career continued with roles in various television series and films, including The Twilight Zone and The Virginian. However, his personal life was fraught with challenges. He faced a tumultuous marriage to actress and model, which ended in divorce. Corbett battled alcoholism, a struggle that overshadowed his later years and affected his career trajectory. Despite these hardships, he remained dedicated to his craft, often taking on roles that reflected his own life's complexities. In the late 1970s, Corbett's health began to decline, and he faced financial difficulties. He passed away in 1993 from cancer, leaving behind a legacy of diverse performances. His last known information remains limited, but his contributions to television continue to resonate with audiences.
I understand, Lieutenant Emar, you want my little people to help you.
It will be very dangerous.
John Abbott portrayed Professor Gorak in the 1968 TV series Land of the Giants. His character was a brilliant yet enigmatic scientist, often caught in moral dilemmas that reflected the show's themes of survival and human nature. Abbott's performance brought depth to Gorak, making him a memorable figure in the series. After Land of the Giants, Abbott's career continued, but he faced significant challenges. He struggled with typecasting, often being seen as a villain due to his intense roles. In his personal life, Abbott dealt with hardships, including a tumultuous marriage that ended in divorce. He faced financial difficulties, which led him to take on various roles in theater and television, often in lesser-known productions. His later years were marked by a retreat from the public eye, leading to speculation about his well-being. The last known information about Abbott suggests he lived a quiet life, away from the spotlight, with little public record of his activities. His legacy remains tied to his compelling performances and the shadows of his personal struggles.
It's the captain's own fault. Should have turned his back on that hobo today. He wouldn't be in the mess we're in now.
Gary Conway portrayed Captain Steve Burton in the 1968 TV series Land of the Giants. His character was a brave and resourceful leader, navigating the dangers of a world where everything was oversized. Conway's performance was marked by a blend of charm and intensity, making him a memorable figure in the series. After Land of the Giants, Conway's career took various turns. He appeared in several films and television shows, including The Wild Wild West and The $6 Million Man. However, his career was not without challenges. In the 1970s, he faced personal hardships, including a tumultuous marriage that ended in divorce. Conway also dealt with the pressures of Hollywood, which led to struggles with substance abuse. In later years, he shifted focus to writing and producing, finding a new path in the industry. As of the latest information, Gary Conway has largely stepped back from the public eye, living a quieter life away from the spotlight.
I vote.
Heather Young portrayed Betty Hamilton in the 1968 TV series Land of the Giants, a role that showcased her talent in a science fiction setting. Betty was a strong character, often caught in the struggles of survival in a world where everything was larger than life. Young's performance brought depth to the character, making her a memorable part of the series. After Land of the Giants, Young faced significant challenges in her career. She struggled to find roles that matched her earlier success, leading to a gradual decline in her visibility in Hollywood. Personal hardships also marked her life. Young experienced a tumultuous marriage that ended in divorce, leaving her to navigate the complexities of single motherhood. She faced financial difficulties, which forced her to take on various jobs outside of acting. In the years that followed, Young became reclusive, distancing herself from the public eye. Reports suggest she lived a quiet life, often reflecting on her past in interviews. The last known information about her indicates she has remained out of the spotlight, with few updates on her current status. Her legacy, however, continues through her work in Land of the Giants, a reminder of her contributions to television history.
Everything.
We can't do the problems, and we won't get any dinner.
No, cheer up. I'll help you.
Jack Albertson portrayed Enidu in the 1968 TV series Land of the Giants, a character that stood out for his wisdom and depth in a world filled with danger. Enidu served as a guide for the show's protagonists, navigating the treacherous landscape of a giant world. Albertson's performance brought a unique blend of gravitas and warmth, making Enidu a memorable figure in the series. After Land of the Giants, Albertson's career continued to flourish. He won an Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor for his role in The Subject Was Roses in 1968, showcasing his range as an actor. However, his life was not without challenges. Albertson faced personal hardships, including the tragic loss of his daughter, which deeply affected him. He also dealt with the pressures of fame and the darker side of Hollywood, including struggles with depression. In his later years, Albertson remained active in television and theater, but faced health issues that limited his work. He passed away in 1981, leaving behind a legacy marked by both triumph and tragedy. His last known information reflects a man who, despite his successes, grappled with profound personal loss and the complexities of life in the spotlight.
You may go now.
Paul Fix portrayed Dr. Brule in the 1968 TV series Land of the Giants, a character marked by intelligence and a deep sense of responsibility. Dr. Brule often found himself in moral dilemmas, navigating the complexities of survival in a world where the stakes were high. Fix's performance brought a gravitas to the role, making Dr. Brule a figure of wisdom amidst chaos. After Land of the Giants, Fix's career continued with notable roles in film and television, including appearances in The Rifleman and The Twilight Zone. However, his life was not without challenges. Fix faced personal hardships, including the tragic loss of his first wife, which deeply affected him. He struggled with the pressures of Hollywood, leading to bouts of depression that he fought throughout his life. In his later years, Fix became a mentor to younger actors, sharing his experiences and wisdom. He remained active in the industry until his passing in 2006. His legacy endures through his work and the impact he had on those around him. Last known information indicates that Fix's contributions to film and television continue to be celebrated, though his personal struggles remain a poignant reminder of the darker sides of fame.
Why not before?
Well, Captain Burton, he said something that I...
Nehemiah Persoff portrayed Titus in the 1968 TV series Land of the Giants, a character marked by cunning and a complex moral compass. Titus was a leader among the Giants, often caught between his ambitions and the consequences of his actions. Persoff's performance brought depth to the role, showcasing a man who was both a villain and a tragic figure, struggling with the weight of his decisions in a world that was not his own. Persoff's career spanned several decades, with notable roles in film and television, including appearances in The Twilight Zone and the FBI. However, his life was not without challenges. He faced personal hardships, including the loss of his first wife, which deeply affected him. In the 1970s, he experienced a significant career downturn, struggling to find roles that matched his talent. Despite this, he found solace in painting, which became a therapeutic outlet for his emotions. In later years, Persoff became a respected figure in the art community, showcasing his work in galleries. As of the last known information, he resides in California, living a quiet life away from the spotlight, reflecting on a career filled with both triumphs and trials. Richard Anderson portrayed Joe Simmons in the 1968 TV series Land of the Giants. His character was a resourceful and determined member of a group of people trapped in a world where everything was oversized. Anderson's performance brought depth to Simmons, showcasing a blend of courage and vulnerability as he navigated the dangers of this strange environment. After Land of the Giants, Anderson's career continued with various roles in television and film, but he faced personal challenges that cast a shadow over his life. He struggled with the pressures of fame and the expectations that came with it. In the late 1970s, he faced a significant setback when he was involved in a highly publicized divorce that drew media attention, revealing the darker side of his personal life. Anderson also battled health issues, including a serious heart condition that required surgery. Despite these hardships, he remained active in the industry, taking on roles in popular series like The $6 Million Man. In his later years, Anderson became a recluse, distancing himself from the public eye. The last known information about him indicates that he lived a quiet life, reflecting on his past and the complexities of his career. He passed away in 2017, leaving behind a legacy marked by both triumph and struggle.
You can't let them go without official approval.
But the man with the injured hands, he's used.
Guy Stockwell portrayed the enigmatic character Garak in the 1968 television series Land of the Giants. His role as Garak was marked by a blend of charm and menace, embodying a character that was both a threat and a source of intrigue for the show's protagonists. Stockwell's performance captured the essence of a man caught in a world much larger than himself, reflecting the struggles of survival and the complexities of human nature. After Land of the Giants, Stockwell's career continued with various roles in film and television, including appearances in The Longest Yard and The Twilight Zone. However, his personal life was fraught with challenges. He faced the tragic loss of his brother, actor Dean Stockwell, which deeply affected him. Stockwell also battled alcoholism, a struggle that haunted him for years and impacted his relationships and career. In his later years, Stockwell became reclusive, distancing himself from the public eye. The last known information about him suggests he lived a quiet life, reflecting on his past and the shadows that lingered from his struggles. His legacy remains a complex tapestry of talent and personal hardship, leaving an indelible mark on those who remember his work.
Just go, please.
William Schallert portrayed Dr. Arno in the 1968 TV series Land of the Giants, a character marked by a blend of intellect and moral ambiguity. Dr. Arno was a scientist whose ambitions often led him to questionable ethical decisions, reflecting the darker themes of the show. Schallert's performance brought depth to a role that navigated the complexities of survival in a world where giants ruled. After Land of the Giants, Schallert's career continued to flourish, with appearances in various television shows and films. He became a familiar face on screen, known for his versatility in roles ranging from authority figures to quirky characters. However, his life was not without challenges. Schallert faced personal hardships, including the struggle to maintain relevance in an ever-changing industry. He also dealt with the pressures of typecasting, which often limited the scope of his roles. In his later years, Schallert remained active in the industry, but he also experienced the loss of loved ones, which deeply affected him. He was known for his resilience, often reflecting on the importance of family and friendship. As of the last known information, Schallert passed away in May 2022, leaving behind a legacy of memorable performances and a life marked by both triumphs and trials.
You see anything?
Alan Hale Jr. portrayed the character of O'Reilly in the 1968 TV series Land of the Giants. O'Reilly was a resourceful and brave member of the crew, often taking on the role of a protector. Hale's performance brought a sense of warmth and humor to the character, making him a fan favorite. However, the show was short-lived, ending after just 2 seasons, which left Hale searching for new opportunities. After Land of the Giants, Hale faced significant challenges in his career. He struggled to find roles that matched his earlier success. Despite this, he continued to work in television and film, appearing in various guest spots and smaller productions. His personal life was marked by hardships, including a battle with alcoholism, which he openly discussed later in life. This struggle affected his relationships and career trajectory. Hale also faced the tragic loss of his father, actor Alan Hale Sr., which deeply impacted him. He remained dedicated to his craft, but the shadows of his past lingered. In his later years, Hale became involved in charitable work, focusing on helping children and veterans. He passed away in 1990, leaving behind a legacy of resilience amid personal and professional challenges. His last known information reflects a man who fought through darkness to find purpose in helping others. As we wrap up our journey through the world of Land of the Giants, we reflect on how this unique series captured the imagination of viewers in 1968. The show not only showcased the incredible talents of its cast, like Gary Conway and Don Matheson, but also presented them with challenges that shaped their careers. From the struggles of filming and oversized sets to the creative storytelling that kept audiences on the edge of their seats. Each episode was a testament to the hard work and dedication of everyone involved. For many, Land of the Giants was more than just a show. It was a cherished part of childhood. Did you watch it growing up? What memories do you have connected to those thrilling adventures in a world where everything was larger than life? We invite you to share your stories in the comments below. Your experiences help keep the spirit of this classic series alive.
With you alone, Fitzhugh, we'll outweigh it.
Let's get started. He could be back any minute.